What's up guys, it's Tony here and welcome back to Man Cave Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, on today's episode of Storytime, I'm going to be talking about seeing my favorite band live, twice on back-to-back nights. My favorite band is called ANKOR, and they are a Spanish metalcore group that originally were power metal, and I like all their work just the same. So I discovered ANKOR originally through YouTube. I saw the music video for Prisoner and liked the song, and the next song I heard was Oblivion, and I really liked that one. And from there, I basically fell in love with the band. The next month, after I discovered them, which the next month was October 2023, they released a song called Stereo. Instantly, it was one of my favorite songs, and it's still one of my favorite songs released by any artist ever. It took me another couple of months before I discovered their first full album, or at least their most recent full album at the time, which was White Dragon. And a few months after that, I discovered Beyond the Silence of These Years, and liked that one even more. Can you see where this is going? In June 2024, I started listening to Last Song for Venus. And the song that was stuck in my head when I attended Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final was Winter Horse. So that song has special meaning for me. I'm not a Florida Panthers fan, but that's still probably the greatest day of my life, because I checked off so many bucket list items that day. Eventually I went back and listened to My Own Angel, and I liked that one too, and even Al Fin Descansar. Didn't understand a single word, but the music was great, and I had been desperately hoping for this band to tour North America. Well, they came over at long last. After 3 years of me being a fan, and for the first time in the band's history, they came over this spring. Now, I've lived kind of a gifted life. I've met a lot of my favorite athletes and musicians, and I met John Petrucci on several occasions. I've met some professional athletes over the years. That's been pretty fun. But with any sort of meet and greet event I've ever been to, it's always been like, take a picture, get something signed, leave. Not with ANKOR. This was the most fantastic meet and greet experience that I've ever had in my life. They asked us some questions like what our favorite songs were, what we would prefer if they came back as headliners, whether it was a sound check or, an acoustic set. And all of us loved the idea of seeing them play an acoustic set. And they gave us opportunities to ask them questions and talk with them. And then, of course, after that, they signed our stuff and took pictures with us. Now, when they asked that first question of what's your favorite song, I was pleasantly surprised that actually a lot of fans mentioned stuff that wasn't off of Shogunai or the most recent stuff. There were some people that did go back to White Dragon or even Beyond the Silence of These Years. Well, I went one step farther. Winter Horse. They love that because I was the only one that went back to this self-titled album. And actually, if you want to get technical, it was on Last Song for Venus as well. And what's funny is I wasn't even going to make up this sign. The morning of the meet and greet and the concert, I decided, what the hell, it'd be nice to get this thing signed, and then I can frame this somewhere. And also, this was one of the quotes that I put in my office. So it was amazing to get this poster and then have each of them sign it. So I'm talking with one of the fans before the show, who's also an ANKOR fan. And it was amazing because I've never actually talked to an ANKOR fan before. And we were talking about, all their different music over the years, going back to My Own Angel. One of the things that somehow we brought up was, they had this horse head, which was in one of their vlogs many years ago, and in their music video for the song Winter Horse. And apparently he talked to the drummer at some point, and the drummer said that nobody had actually brought the horse head to a concert yet. Well, that got me thinking. I have that exact horse head. You've seen me wear that exact horse head on a number of different videos. I got the thing 10 years ago. So I decided in that moment, the next day, I was 100% going to bring the horse head when I saw them again in New York City. Now here's where this story becomes something out of a dream. So I'm in New York City, and I'm looking for this theater, and I can't find it. I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And I look over, and it's the drummer, Eleni Nota, who recognized me from the day before. So obviously I left a good impression if I didn't send her running away from me, and she recognized me, and we got into a 1 or 2 minute conversation. And I showed her that I brought the horse head with me, and she was like, That's amazing. I want to take a picture in it later. And so I get in and I see the show, and I'll talk about the set list in a few minutes. And one thing that really struck me was that early on, David, the guitarist, pointed to me and gave me a thumbs up before I had even put up the horse head. And so I put it up, and Jesse recognized it and was like, there it is, the winner horse. Now, they were on stage. They were in the middle of performing. They saw the horse head and acknowledged it in the midst of their performance, you know, between songs. I still can't believe that. So after the show, they went to the merch table, and they were there to basically sign stuff, take pictures with people. So I waited till the end, and they signed this horse head. All of them signed it. They loved that I brought it. And I was actually going to ask if they could write something about winner horse on this. But I forgot to ask. Jessie, the lead singer, did this on her own. She wrote, "Get on the winner horse." And that was amazing. And then if you flip it to the other side, Fito wrote "Official Winnie." So that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I have the official winner horse, I guess you could say. Now, this actually is the exact style of horse head that they use in the winner horse music video. And then to top it all off, not only did Eleni get her picture in the horse head, and they actually posted it onto their social media later, onto their Instagram stories, with my own horse head, this horse head right here, unbelievable. But I put the horse head on, and I took a picture with them, with me in it. And as we were taking the picture, Fito starts singing the song, the chorus to the song. And so I start singing with them. And that's something that is beyond even my wildest dreams. I'm standing there, singing the chorus of one of my favorite songs ever, with the guitarist and the singer of that band. Those concerts, the one in Philly and the one in New York, they took place on May 5th and 6th. If I had to give an award to the best 2-day stretch in my life, I think that would be it. In terms of the set list, I loved the songs that they played. I loved the order that they played it in. They only had the 7 songs. They only had about half an hour on stage. They played 5 songs off Shogunai, and then 2 from this new singles project they're working on, Madara and Donzo, Lion Ghost. They could have played just about anything, and I would have been ecstatic to hear it. And so now I am very much hoping that they come back as headliners next year, and I can guarantee you I'm going to get a VIP pass and a meet and greet to that show. And I'm going to bring the horse head with me. You better believe I'm going to bring the horse head with me. But anyways, that is going to be it for this edition of Storytime. This might be my favorite Storytime episode ever. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out, broskies. And remember to ride the winner horse. The official winner horse.